Hello again guys, Susanna here. Well, I'm back again for this part and I've zigzagged around there. What I want to do now for this one, while it's been sitting in my little stash for a while and I've had to clean up and I've done all this sort of stuff. The first video I did a while ago, I had to actually re-watch it to see where I was at. So I've come across these little lines here. So what I want to do first is I want to stitch it down. So I'm just going to, just wondering whether I do a little slip stitch or a running stitch. Let's see how we go. Might use this. I'm thinking a little slip stitch might be the go. I just basically want to hold it down, and the Fix already has done that. So being a little bit more lax with how I'm putting things down these days. Just when you have got the heat and bundle of Fix, it's already holding it down anyway, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of a slip stitch and it will be held down with all the other little stitches that we're doing, all that sort of stuff there anyway. Now so it's up to you. You could probably want to do a bit of a, you know, a more secure stitch. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but it's going to be held down okay. All right, no worries. So yeah, I'll just quickly go around and do that, and then I might come back with this. I was thinking of doing this, you know, these little bits and pieces in this thread. Okay, so I do have to stitch that down, so I'll be back once I've stitched it down, and then I'll come back and show you the rest. Okay, I am back again. I'm just getting everything all set up. I've just quickly stitched around there, and I thought while I'm there I'm going to stitch, I did a backing stitch around the eye and in black, and I thought I'll do that off camera because you can't really see it. I was going to do that in that brownie colour, but because it's a cheek, I thought I just did it in a sort of like a pinky colour, and then I just did a running stitch along there. So looks cute. It's starting to come alive now. Now I was thinking for the eye, let's look. I want to be able to see. It's got this little, like, use this as a bit of a guide to how you want to have that. So I'm going to put that on there with a bit of white. You probably just don't need it. I'm just going to have to let that dry, and then I'll stitch over it in that white in a minute. But in the meantime, I've gotten this sort of a darker browny colour. It's sort of got almost a pink, a purple, sort of like a, I don't know, it's got a bit of a tinge. It's brown, it's darker brown, it's I thought I didn't want to do black for the nose, so this little bit here I want to just fill that in. So we're going to come in just here, maybe come in from underneath the cheek, and we're just going to do a little, like, what do they call it, a stem stitch. Geez, I'm lost for words today. Not stem stitch, a satin stitch. We want it to be stitched together. It's the little nose, but I didn't want it quite so dark. So satin stitch is where you just stitch so it's close together. You don't see any of the colour underneath, hopefully. Just this is where the pattern comes in handy. You sort of know where you've got to do stuff. Okay, tiny little stitches on the bottom here. Just to fill it in. Yep. And then it does seem to be a little bit staggered along here. I'm going to go to the top and do a bit of a stitch going down, I think, just to cover any of those other bits. And I think I may have to do two. All these other pieces that are attacking it. So come back up again. You can't seem to see it, and then come back down through. Make sure you're not there. We go. We don't really seeing any colour. Okay. There's his nose. I always call everything he, probably because I'm in a family of lots of boys, and because I've got two sons. Okay. My thimble is a little loose. Now, got that there. Now we'll get the white. There you go. See, there you go across. If you go across perfectly, you probably wouldn't need to do those little bits that I've just done. But we're not always perfect. Now I'm going to do little French knots for these, and then I'm going to come across with the thread like I did with the fox tutorial. Have a look, go onto the fox tutorial to see how I did the small whiskers, and you just do that with a strong thin thread. I'm going to do that after I've done that part there. So come in up here. Okay, because it's got a few layers, I'm gonna have to come in. Okay. And do like with the nose, you do a bit of a satin stitch. Following the line. it going to cover that? Yep, it is. Okay, a bit skinnier in the bottom. Seems to be a little bit tough. Never as easy as it's supposed to be. This is why you get a thimble, because you need to now, what I want to do here is do a French knot. Needs a little bit of dimension. There we go. So satin stitch and a French knot. And then it'll come to life once we've got a bit of those bits and pieces along there. And if it still doesn't work, I might add different colour in there as well, just to highlight a little bit underneath the eye. Usually the glint, the white glint, makes it come to life. Stay. Now, put that white over there, and we'll grab this. So you're being organised here. Now, I want to do. I might do some of the stitches here. Now, just going to just straight stitches. Just to give it a bit of a, like it's got hair on it. And the reason why I'm doing these ones first is because I want to do the thing, and I've got to come across. So I'll do some of these ones first. Okay, got this here. So just going to be going along here. So this is sort of trying to enhance the you know, the fluffiness of the bunny. I'll just have a couple of straight stitches. Because it's got the wadding behind it, it really does make it a little bit thick to do. Okay, you want to make sure we're in camera. And do a small one there. Oop. Okay, and I usually like to go up here. Oop. I'll bring it up in a minute. There we go, and then I'm going to go through there and up here, because it's going to be the chin a little bit. And we'll almost do like a back stitch in a way. joining it a little bit because I want it to be the chin part. Okay. There we go. And then just do a couple along here. And I think it's got a couple here too. On there. So I sort of wanted it to be a little bit darker than just the white, and I might do a tiny little one there, and then we'll go along here. There we go. So we'll continue along here anyway. This is what I mean. See how that's looking? That's the nose, the eye. So I'll put that off to one side, and I'll turn off the camera a little bit later on and stitch around here just to show you that it really does make a difference. But for now I am going to get the big thing and I'm going to try this. I quite like this, and I've got quite a bit of this. So get your little bits out. What I'm going to do with this is just cut this here along there, and whether I choose to keep that I don't know. I might take these bits off. Okay. Now not sure which way is which. Just seems awfully thick. So I'm going to be cutting that. I'll be stitching it back on, so I want this to be like the flower, whether that's going to be the flower on top. I think that might go over there, but I want this to be that, and I'm going to pinch that in. I think I will, like that. There we go. There's that white. Sometimes you just got to work on things in order to get it where you need it. Okay. Grab that. So you might just go around it. There we go. And then go through the middle. So that's going to be there. I'm going to cut that bit off. and I'm hoping, oh my goodness, this has really seen better days, I can tell you. Yep, not quite that much. Now, need a tissue. Oh, I'll be back. Where are we? Here we go. I've squeezed it and it's squeezed out just a little bit too far. So, what I'm going to do is it is that way. You find the right way, and I'm just going to put it down with some of the glue, and this is craft glitter glue. Rub that along there. Ugh. And then just going to go through. Yeah. Hold this baby down. I just happened to pull it apart. Okay. Ugh. Now, oh my goodness, it looks really bodgy. I will go back and stitch that on, but I wanted to show you how I'm doing this. Now, where is that big eye? Here we go. And I've got leaves and stuff that I want to put on there. Where are we? But I might colour them in yet. Here's that one. Where's the other one? Most of them had a couple. This is almost like a leaf, which I'm going to, there's a fly buzzing around here somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's so annoying. Oh, here we go. I knew there was another leaf somewhere. There we go. So we've got these, and what I might do is I might even colour them, or might, yeah, see how we go. So what I want to do is try something different. Got this, so I'm getting a big eye, and I'd like to use this to stitch that line here. So I'm going to get the thing and go along here like that. Okay. Now, definitely will need let's see, how much will we need? Probably about that much. I've got plenty of this, so if this works okay and it matches beautifully with the green in here, I will put some of this in your kit as well. There we go, something else extra, because I do have plenty of it. Now, coming up through here. Now it's probably going to, that first initial bit is going to be a little tough, so we might have to get those pliers out like I did with another one. There we go. Now I would like to see how it's got that. I would like to make it so that I've got a little bit of a base first. So I'm going to go back on it itself through there. It should be interesting. There we go. Oh my goodness. It's the only thing when you've got stuff that's quite thick, doesn't always come through. There we go. Here we go. Now, we were just seeing if it was going to work, remember? So, you know, I may not end up doing this. There we go. Now, what I would like to do, I may have to end up couching it. I was wanting to do like a slip stitch, but I might have to, like, as in, I'll try, it might work. A stem stitch, I mean, but it may, because it's so thick, it may not work. Sorry guys. There we go. Which is what you would normally do to make a stem. Okay. So if you don't want to do a stem stitch with this, which it's quite tricky as you can see, oh my goodness, a couching stitch may be the go, I think. Oh goodness. There we go. Am I going to persist? Am I going to? Oh, there we go. It's starting to happen. I'm not catching the bottom of the, you know, going through there. So, oh, good Lord. Not always easy. No, I've gone through that, and I don't want to be doing that. There we go. Geez, I'm really making it enticing to do this, aren't I? Not? Yeah, the reason why I wanted to do a slip stitch, because if you do a couching, it's just going to be a bit flatter, whereas this way a stem stitch sort of curls back on itself and it ends up being a little bit more dimensional. So if you don't want to attempt doing this and persist with this, I would recommend doing a couching stitch, which you just stitch it on. So it is getting a little easier. And normally you put it in that same hole when you do a stem stitch, but I'll probably go a little bit for it because going through the same hole, it's making it get caught. So there we go. Starting to get into it. Okay. Well, I will probably turn this off because this is too painful to watch. But I am going to persist with it, and I'll be back at the end, but I probably would recommend couching it. So, okay, sorry guys. Okay guys, well, I did struggle with that a little bit. I went back with this colour thread, which is the same as that, and tried to make that, you know, like just did stem stitch over there to try and make it into more of a Y. I would probably recommend just couching it with that thread. So that's just tacking it down, and I just went along with white and sort of went around there and held that down as well. So what I'm going to do, you've got little bits and pieces, so I had that little piece that was on that bit, you know, those curly bits, so I cut that off. I am going to stick these along there because they're in the white. That's going to go along there like that. It's a leaf, and then I'm going to come over there with some of this green and stitch it together. Man, this stuff, I've lost some of the you know, that thing that just hasn't been able to put it back on there again, that the actual piece. So I might even stick it a little bit under there. Seems to be sticking up a bit. So I'll make those, turn those a little bit greener. I need to find myself a stainless steel pin, because every time I put a pin in there it ends up doing this. Looks terrible. So I just the new pins really don't work very well, so I don't know where I'm going to get myself a stainless steel pin. I wonder if this is stainless steel. That might work. We'll see if it ends up rusting. So now, yep, there we go. So on the next one, I'm going to continue on. So I've just got those put down, and then I'm just going to, with the green, I'm just going to tack it down like that in the green, which gives it that, you know, little rustic look. I like the fact that it's a darker colour, tacking it down. There we go. And that it's sticking out a little bit. I'll show you how quickly do it. And then come back in the middle. So you just do these to all of them. If you want to see some of that green, you want it to look like a leaf. There we go. And then come back in the middle, and we're going to come back with some straight stitch along there, but it's on a bit of an angle. Which will colour in that. There we go. And I might even come in up here and go up, down along these parts. Up and down, which will catch that down. I'll bring it up to the camera in a minute, and then go back down the other way. Hold it down even more and green it up a bit more, which is what we want. Okay. There that. So you do that to all of them. Hope this is making sense, people. And then the next one is the bit that I'm really looking forward to. We're going to be doing some stitches all along there, and I was actually thinking, I was wondering whether I should put that on there or have that underneath and have that on top, but I just really wanted it to be similar to that. I might even do another little just come over there with some white, because it just doesn't seem big enough. Maybe do a couple of more little stitches just to match that in the white, and just do a little stem stitch, because I think it needs to be a bit bigger. So I might just have that over there. Actually, I've got these. Everyone's got some of these. I don't know whether I'm going to use them or not. Put that in there like that. I've got that little bit. Probably even have those on there, but we'll just see. Definitely going to be using the butterfly. That probably go along there, so it looks like it's near the flower, and possibly even put the flower there, and I might even do a little stem stitch going down here, so it looks like it's behind him. So I think that might work, but here we go. See, just sort of catch it, a couple of straight stitches, and then in there, you know, going back and forth, just holding that down, and so that greens it up a little bit to make it look like it's actually a flower. But I think I definitely need to do a couple more petals in there, actually. Yeah. There we go. That looks a little bit weird at the moment, but once that's being coloured in with that sideways, which is very similar to that, it'll make it a little bit bigger. Sometimes you just got to work a little bit extra with what you got. Okay, so I'll be back in the next one to work a little bit more on that. Okay guys, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying it and you weren't too turned off by this. Just remember, do that couching in that part. Okay, bye.